will be equivalent to the road infrastructure of USA.
We have now entered the growth phase. And I believe that the growth rate in India is going to be exponential.
Two narratives of Indian story which need to be brought center stage.
Every week, the India story will bring the most incisive analysis, the most authoritative voices.
India will be a significant pole in the universe of AI going forward.
India is walking tall, India's stature is different, India's voice is being heard.
And the biggest newsmakers.
This is just a start. Tokyo, we won one bronze. Paris, we won a rocket.
Good to see that, women cricket is getting more excited and everybody is looking up to that.
And these stories need to be told. And they are guided by the compass of their conscience.
From India, for the world, the India story. The show for the global citizen.
You don't know how to fix the holes in our ozone layer. You don't know how to bring the salmon back up a dead stream. You don't know how to bring back an animal now extinct. And you can't bring back the forest that once grew where there is now a desert.
You have ignored us in the past and you will ignore us again. We have run out of excuses and we are running out of time.
Show us your faithfulness. Show us your trustworthiness. Show us your honesty. Prove us wrong. We desperately need you to prove us wrong. God help us all if you fail to prove us wrong. God help us.
Welcome to WION Live Broadcast, New York City. I'm Susan Tehrani. First, let's take a look at the stories making headlines this hour. India's gross domestic product clocks a growth rate of 7.8% in the April-June quarter of the current financial year as compared to 13.1% in the year-ago period.
That conflict is today creating problems in fuel cost, in availability and prices of food grains, in the access to and the price of fertilizers.
Russia-Ukraine war to blame for the inflationary trends in the global economy, says Indian Foreign Minister S. Jaishankar. He stresses that the majority opinion is for peace and for the war to end. News agency Reuters quotes sources saying Chinese President Xi Jinping is likely to skip the G20 summit in India next week. Premier Li Qiang is expected to represent Beijing at the summit. U.S. and Indonesian troops begin a 2-week-long joint exercise in East Java aimed at ensuring stability in the Indo-Pacific. Participants from Australia, Japan, Singapore, France, and Britain joined the drills. Argentine World Cup winner Lionel Messi's Major League Soccer debut ends in a draw as Inter Miami are frustrated by Nashville in a goalless stalemate. Let's start you off in Ukraine, where Ukraine's much-touted counteroffensive is gaining pace, striking deep within the Russian territory. Kyiv destroyed over 5 military aircraft in western Russia in its biggest drone assault. The aircraft hit include a MiG-29 and 4 Su-30 fighter jets. This puts a serious question mark on Russia's air defense system and ignites curiosity about the Ukraine war kit. Ukraine says that it destroyed 2 Pantsir missiles launchers and a S-300 air defense system radar. These attacks were carried out using flat-pack drones made from cardboard. Is the air warfare turning into a level playing field? Let's take a look at Ukraine's war kit. Drones are the weapons that Ukraine has been deploying effectively. Ukraine is getting about 100 cardboard drones as part of a $20 million deal with Australia. Experts say that their lightweight nature makes them easier for use against Russian targets. This drone provides an edge to the war-torn country due to battlefield intelligence, surveillance, and reconnaissance capability. It can carry up to 5 kilograms of cargo. It also provides valuable operational flexibility for Ukrainian forces. There's more behind Ukraine's increased confidence. It has been using Vampire rockets to target Russian drones. U.S.-made vehicle-agnostic, modular, palletized ISR rocket equipment, popularly known as Vampires, is a compact and palletized rocket launching platform. In January, the United States said that it would deliver 14 Vampire weapon systems for key forces. It is used to launch advanced precision kill weapon system and is capable of firing 70mm laser-guided rocket. It comprises of 4 such round rocket launchers, which can be installed on vehicles. These weapon systems cost about $27,000 apiece. They can hit targets at a range of about 5 kilometers. Such a weapon system can be used in shoot-and-scoot tactics, as it is perfect for covert use, especially at a time when Ukrainian forces are facing Russia's multi-layer defense line. Ever since Russia started using Shahed 136 kamikaze drone, Ukraine has been struggling to defend itself. But it seems like the tables are turning now. Not only this, Ukraine has modified its Neptune R-360 Neptune anti-ship cruise missile, which were used to sink the Russian missile cruiser Moskva a year ago. Its modified versions were used in attacks on Russia's S-400 missile launchers last week, developed by Ukraine's Luch Design Bureau. This weapon system has a payload capacity of up to 350 kilograms and can fire missiles up to a range of 400 kilometers. This means the entire Crimea falls within the operational range of the R-360 Neptune. Ukraine's new weapon system and its intensifying counteroffensive will certainly raise the stakes in the war. It's a conflict that has been the bloodiest since the Vietnam War and has taken over 500,000 lives. Well, the U.S. Congress has cleared the much-anticipated India-U.S. fighter engine deal with no objection. Congress's nod now paves the way for the implementation of the deal between the U.S.-based General Electric and India's Hindustan Aeronautics Limited. Earlier in June, when India Prime Minister Modi visited the United States, he signed the deal with President Biden. The deal would allow GE to produce engines for military aircraft on Indian soil. While India can manufacture jet domestically, it secured the technological know-how to make aircraft engines through the key deal. The country intends to produce more than 350 fighter jets for its Air Force and Navy over the next 2 decades. And according to U.S. officials, the deal is now cleared from the legislative end, and the administration can go ahead with the next steps. These steps are now expected to be discussed during President Biden's visit to India for the G20 summit in early September. The deal has been mentioned as being a landmark by both nations. It will mark a major high-technology cooperation between the oldest and largest democracies of the world. The defense deal includes unprecedented technology transfer, manufacturing of jet engines in India, and licensing agreements as well. Under the deal, GE's F-414 engine are meant to power India's homegrown light combat aircraft Tejas Mk2. The engines will be manufactured in India with 80% technology transfer to HAL. The deal is significant as only a few nations now have the know-how to develop their own jet engines. These include the United States, Russia, the UK, and France. India is likely to get at least 11 major manufacturing technologies as part of the deal. All right, for more on this, we are now being joined by John Erath from Washington, D.C. He is a senior policy director for the Center for Arms Control and Non-Proliferation in Washington. John, welcome back to WION. Good to talk to you. Well, this seems like a landmark deal. Can you tell us in layman terms why this is so important, not only for India, but it's also to the U.S. interest as well?
As you said, this is what we call technically a good deal for both sides. This is going to support the aviation and metallurgical industries both in India and the United States, and it is setting the stage for further cooperation in manufacturing in general, not just defense manufacturing. So it's certainly in the interest of both sides to do something like this. The only surprise is that it wasn't done sooner.
Okay, and if we talk about it secured the technical know-how as well, and this is despite the fact that India can manufacture jets domestically. So why is that important?
It's important because this represents a higher level of technology than has been present in India in the past. The engines that are involved in the deal are those that are used in the FA-18, the Super Hornet, which is the most modern naval fighter aircraft that is currently operated by the U.S. and just a few other close allies of the U.S. So India is getting the technology to produce something that is at the highest level, that is considerably better than what it has had before. So it will be able then to develop indigenous products that are higher in quality than what India has previously had, and that are also more compatible with U.S. and NATO countries' equipment for cooperation and joint operations in the future.
All right, well, fascinating stuff. John Erath from Washington, D.C., Senior Policy Director for the Center for Arms Control and Non-Proliferation in Washington. Thank you so much for joining us, and I look forward to speaking to you again soon. The White House has said that it has new intelligence that shows Russian President Vladimir Putin and North Korean leader Kim Jong-un swapped letters as Russia looks to North Korea for munitions in the ongoing Ukraine war. In the next few minutes, we will detail the latest findings of the U.S. intelligence report. The White House says that Russia is in secret and active talks with North Korea. The White House further says that Russia aims to acquire a range of munitions for Moscow's fight in Ukraine. White House National Security spokesperson John Kirby has further asserted on how North Korea supplied infantry rockets and missiles to Russia, and that these munitions were used by Russia's Wagner Group. The White House has further revealed that Russian Defense Minister Sergei Shoigu's latest trip to North Korea was done in a bid to acquire more munitions. Meanwhile, according to the United Nations, any such deal between Russia and North Korea can violate Security Council resolutions forbidding arms deal with North Korea. Minority Leader of the U.S. Senate, Mitch McConnell, made a public appearance on Wednesday. However, while answering questions after attending an event, the 81-year-old Republican froze up for over 30 seconds, staring into space and not responding to reporters or actually anyone nearby. The incident took place after an event at the Northern Kentucky Chamber of Commerce in Cummington.
Did you hear the question, Senator? Running for re-election in 2026? All right, I'm sorry, you all. We're going to need a minute. Senator Benny.
McConnell is the longest-serving Senate party leader in history. This is the second time such an incident has taken place with the aging Republican. A similar incident took place in the U.S. Capitol on July 26th. McConnell froze in the middle of a press conference and had to be led away. He returned several minutes later to finish taking questions. McConnell had a concussion in March when he fell at a Washington hotel during a fundraising event and was absent from the Senate for weeks. One of McConnell's aides said that the senator would be consulting a physician before his next public event. The latest incident has now triggered a fresh debate over age limits and minimum fitness levels among politicians across the political divide. The sun is furious, and it has turned its glare towards the red planet. Scientists have detected a mystery explosion on the far side of the sun. Our next report tells you why such cosmic events could have catastrophic consequences.
Sun, the most massive object in the solar system. Just to put its massiveness in proportion, the Sun accounts for 99% of all mass in our solar system. The rest, 1%, constitutes all the planets and their moons. It is a massive hot ball of plasma, inflated and heated by nuclear fusion reactions at its core. Sun radiates light and heat, which makes it possible for life to exist on Earth. But the Sun gets angry at times. Our star has an 11-year cycle that sees it move from a period of solar minimum activity to its solar maximum, which is happening right now. In this period, the Sun sends out huge amount of plasma that travel at the speed of light. These coronal mass ejections originate from the Sun's atmosphere, the corona. Astronomers have now discovered a huge explosion on the Sun's far side. It has launched a blob of plasma and radiation. Scientists predict that it will slam into Mars. So massive is the radiation that experts think that it could potentially erode part of the Martian atmosphere. The surprise explosion was detected by Earth-orbiting satellites on August 26th. Earth, too, is hit by occasional solar storms, but our planet's magnetosphere protects us, and only a small fraction manage to hit the poles, creating the magnificent northern lights. Clearly, our star holds a lot of mysteries, and there is a lot to study and understand how such phenomena affect and perhaps even disrupt life on our planet.
In today's fast-paced world where everything seems to be moving at the speed of light, Google has stepped up to ease your travel worries. Imagine a world where your flight bookings are strategically timed, putting the best deals at your fingertips. Our next report unveils the latest innovation from Google that promises just that.
Holiday planning can be a stressful affair, especially with the soaring cost of living. And one of the trickiest tasks is securing a budget-friendly flight, especially during the holidays. But thanks to Google, your travel troubles could now soon be a thing of the past. Step into the future of flight booking with Google Flight's revolutionary feature called Price Insights. The smart tool equips travelers with historical flight price data, allowing them to masterfully time their bookings for maximum savings. But that's not all. Google Flights also debuts Price Guarantee, a pioneering initiative that promises users a refund if the flight price drops after booking. Planning a Christmas escape? Well, take a tip from Google's Price Insights. Book early. The sweet spot for the lowest prices tends to be around 72 days before your trip. Mark your calendars for October and watch your hard-earned dollars get maximum value. Beyond the benefits to avid and occasional travelers, this innovation could catapult travel agencies into a new era. Their success often hinges on offering the best deals, and Google's new feature gives them the edge. So whether you're a jet setter or a travel curator, this new Google feature is set to change the game. Strategic travel planning has never been so easy. Bureau Report, WION World is One.
In recent weeks, we've seen a lot of A-listers coming forward to support the striking writers and actors in Hollywood. The latest actors to join the picket line are Breaking Bad actors. Let's hear what they had to say.
SAG after strong! SAG after strong! We're in a new paradigm. We have to understand and accept that we have a brand new business model, and we can't adhere to what was. It doesn't make any sense at all, and that's a sticking point. It's tough for them because they don't want to release their purse strings to realize that, oh, economics have changed considerably. No. That was
If I didn't take a selfie, I would not be
The way things were structured 10 years ago made a lot of sense and made it more possible for actors, you know, journeyman type actors in the middle that are working just as hard or harder. You know, those residuals went a long way. And so, like I said, that's something that it wasn't all that long ago that I was in that same position. So.
Look, I mean, we're all in this together, but the people that are just crunching numbers, there's not like an artistic vision behind that. It's just about saving money. Again, they're not the villains here. They're just not really understanding what is reality. And so once they kind of come back to reality and think to themselves, oh shit, wait, we're wrong. And we need to do what's right. That's it. Simple as that.
Great. Lama, so I met you with
right here with the rainbow.
All right, let's wrap up in the world of sports, where defending champion Iga SWIATEK was put through the ringer at Louis Armstrong Stadium by the returning Daria SAVILLE. The Pole held firm to see off the world number 322 SAVILLE and will face her best friend in the third round. SAVILLE resumed playing in June after a 9-month injury layoff and got off to a dream start by breaking the world number 1 in the opening game. SWIATEK did not let that monetary blip affect her and broke back in the very next game before consolidating with a hold to edge ahead. Another break of serve in Game 6 saw SWIATEK take a 4-2 lead. However, a couple of unforced errors from her saw SAVILLE put the